Should we start, Prabhu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me share my screen. You can see my screen, right, Prabhu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 14th chapter, 22nd verse and 23rd verse. Before we start, I wish everybody a happy Ekadasi today. I think it's called Amalaki Ekadasi. So hope you're all having spiritual benefit and taking benefit of it. So let's go ahead and start the verse. 3:14:22. अथापि कामम् एतं ते प्रजात्यै कारवाण्यलं यथा मां नातिरोचन्ति मुहूर्तं प्रतिपालय. One more time. अथापि कामम् एतं ते प्रजात्यै करवाण्यलं यथा मां नातिरोचन्ति मुहूर्तं प्रतिपालय. Word-to-word translation. Athapi, even though it is not possible. Kamam, this sex desire. Etam, as it is. Te, your. Prajatyai, for the sake of the children. Karavani, let me do. With alam, without delay. Yatha, as. Mam, unto me. Na, may not. Atirochanti, reproach. Muhurtam, a few seconds. Pratipalaya, wait for. Translation. Even though it is not possible to repay you, I shall satisfy your sex desire immediately for the sake of begetting children. But you must wait for only a few seconds so that others may not reproach me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The henpecked husband may not be able to repay his wife for all the benefits that he derives from her. But as for begetting children by fulfilling sexual desire, it is not at all difficult for any husband unless he is thoroughly impotent. This is a very easy task for a husband under normal conditions. In spite of Kashyapa being very eager, he requested her to wait for a few seconds so that others might not reproach him. He explains his position as follows. Let's read the next verse. एषा घोरतमा वेला घोरानां घोरदर्शना चरन्ति यस्यां भूतानि भूतेशानुचराणिः. एषा घोरतमा वेला घोरानां घोरदर्शना चरन्ति यस्यां भूतानि भूतेशानुचराणिः. Word-to-word translation. Esha, this time. Ghoratama, most horrible. Vela, period. Ghoranam, of the horrible. Ghoradarshana, horrible looking. Charanti, move. Yasyam, in which. Bhutani, ghosts. Bhuta Isha, the lord of the ghosts. Anucharani, constant companions. Ha, indeed. Translation. This particular time is most inauspicious because at this time the horrible looking ghosts horrible looking ghosts and the constant companions of the Lord of the ghosts are visible. Purport. Kashyapa has already told his wife Diti to wait for a while, and now he warns her that failure to consider the particular time will result in punishment from the ghosts and evil spirits. Excuse me. Will result in punishment from the ghosts and evil spirits who move during this time along with their master, Lord Rudra. Before we start discussion, let's do the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamine iti namine Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Radha Swamine iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's look back into the verse. अथापि काममेतं ते प्रजात्ये करवाण्यलं यथा मां नातिरोचन्ति मुहूर्तं प्रतिपालय. So we are in this third canto, 14th chapter, 22nd verse, where in this section we're looking at a conversation between Kashyapa and Diti. So, we can see here, this conversation reflects how powerful an interaction is and what is the result of it. So whenever in general when we do an interaction, there is a very powerful outcome. It's like a seed, and outcome is like a fruit. If in any situation in our lives, based on how we deal with the situation, and how we deal with the situation is based on our mentality. So based on how we deal with the situation, the outcome is if somebody comes with a very pleasing attitude and with a very humble mentality, even the impossible might become possible. Whereas somebody who is like comes with, why you cannot do it for me, then such kind of a scenario, the outcome might be different. So so that is why for every instance, every second of our life, interaction is a very powerful thing. So, but unfortunately, we live in a current world, current modern society. There is this understanding of this basic principle is very less, because with the fast moving world, most of the people think that they can do whatever they want and they can achieve whatever result they want to, whether it is right or wrong. So that's the reason we see so much chaos, so much dissatisfaction, so many frustrations, so many, therapies whatsoever. So, basically, we don't have a proper understanding of who we are, is the result of all these things. We have all failed to understand that, Krishna is the one who is who's instructing or who is directing how this world is run. And only if we break the laws, we'll only get nothing but the punishment, which is nothing but the chaos or the frustrations or the dissatisfactions we see. So, Krishna always insists, we've been reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. In several instances, Krishna says, this material world is run by my divine energy and which is divided into three modes of material nature. And these three modes of material nature are very, very difficult to transcend. But I have a solution. And what is the solution? Surrender unto me. So for the hope of every devotee is to, follow Krishna's instructions and get out of Maya. So, out of so many things, material world is predominantly, once means one thing, like that is the question of sexual desire, which is the topic of this verse. We how to deal with it. Some people that it is too much enjoyment. You should not delve into it. How it should be done, whether it should be done. There are so many, so many questions are misused, so on and so forth. So, but in material, everybody wants to have pleasure, isn't it? So everybody wants, but if we have an understanding of the teachings like from Srimad Bhagavatam or of our scriptures, we will not have such confusion. There are these instructions are so powerful for us that they also help us how to understand the human psychology. So by presenting scenarios like this to help us understand how to live in this material world. So basically, if we see every day morning, if we look at the news, there is two things that we see. There is full of violence or some exploitation, which can be a sexual exploitation or some other exploitation. Basically, why? Because we want to control and enjoy. Because we don't have an understanding again of these instructions through our scriptures. All we want to do is we want to devise our own instructions, experience in our own way rather than following them. But what we don't understand is if we follow these instructions, we will be in a much better happy stage if we surrender to Krishna and understand these instructions. But our biggest challenge is we are in a denial that we think that I can deal with this. I can take care of it. I don't need any help. Most of the times we, especially parents, we hear from kids, oh, I can take care of it. I know what this is. I don't need your help. But many times, if they have good understanding, good. But if they don't have a good understanding, they they don't understand that it is okay to have some follow the instructions of what parents are saying. Similarly, for us, our Krishna's instructions, we don't, because we are in the strong Maya in this material nature. We feel like we can lord everything, we know everything. But Krishna is saying, follow my instructions and surrender unto me and get out of this world. So in this verse, what this verse is saying is actually reflecting what is happening in this world. So what Diti has asked Kashyapa, we have heard from the previous verses that she requests Kashyapa to accept her desire and replenish it. So, as a dutiful husband, Kashyapa says, yes, I should, but wait for some time, because he knows um, what is the effect of not following the proper time. So this not following the proper time is again coming from the Krishna's instructions. What should be done versus what should not be done. So, but what happens if we follow the instruction? We'll get more freedom, and also like this is like a middle where we have come to reform, to go back. So if we follow, we can see, like we do our sadhana properly, we can see that there is a transformation in us. There is an attraction toward more attraction towards the Lord. That is the transformation we can see in us, and we'll get the hope that we are going to get out of this material world, and very soon, and and be in the devotional service of Krishna. But whereas if we do not follow, like how Aditi is asking here, what will happen? Our suffering will increase, and probably like a prisoner who's doing even after being put in a jail, if he or she is committing more mistakes, will be transferred to a much tougher jail. So like that, we'll keep on digging our own ditch more deeper. So here, she, as a dutiful husband, he says that I will I will satisfy your desire, but wait for a few seconds, because this is not an appropriate time. In the next verse, he also mentions the reason why. He says this is the time where Lord Rudra and all the ghosts are um, 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 are roaming around, and it will attract demonic nature and evil spirits. So because this act is performed for the sake of getting children, so it might not result in a getting a good conscious children, like like we know the result, like they got but gave birth to all rakshasas, demons. So but like material world, even though we know the instructions, Diti requested and Kashyapa gave in, which resulted in getting the demons as a children. So similarly, even though we have all the instructions from Krishna through Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and etc., what we do is we give in to our own desires because of Maya or whatnot. So when we give in, the result will be we will break the law of Krishna, and the result will be more suffering. So why we do that? Because we do not have enough faith, or we do not have a proper understanding of Krishna's love for us. So here, what is faith? Faith is not just to say Krishna is our supreme Lord. Yes, Krishna is our supreme Lord, and we should believe that. But what is faith? Faith is to do what is required, what we are supposed to do, based on what Krishna told us. So the application part is very much required there. So it says, and faith says, if you do the required, or if you do the as per the instructions, the Supreme Lord Himself will take care of us. That's the faith. So what does that mean? No matter what, no matter whatever difficult the situation is, no matter what scenario we are in, no matter how bad our temptations are, we always have to cross check that what are we doing, what we are supposed to do, are we following our guidelines that we have received. So based on the if we do, then it is rest assured that Krishna is going to take care of us. And we can always see that the Krishna's hand is extended for us in several instances, in several ways. For example, somebody is chanting is very difficult. I mean, most of us struggle. Nobody who goes happily, oh, I want to chant every day at this time, and where I'm happy chanting happily. We're all struggling. Some are little ahead, some are little behind. But the one who is persistent and understand Krishna's love. What is Krishna's love? That he's watching us, he's observing what we are doing, and he only wants us to come back. His only interest in giving these instructions is not to make us listen to him, but rather take us back. So if we understand that love of Krishna, the more understanding we develop, the more we surrender and the more we follow and apply his principles. So the perfect example for us, I mean, always in all instances, not only in this, in everything, in Krishna consciousness itself, is Srila Prabhupada, because he came here just based on his spiritual master's instruction. We had no clue, but he thought following his spiritual master's instruction, Krishna will take care. And we all know what is the rest of the history. So, and I get, that's why we're told, like, follow the footsteps. So we have so many examples like that, who have followed the footsteps of great personalities and have become successful in their spiritual path. So, I felt this verse it reminded me of so many things that we do. This is just one situation that wife is asking husband, but in any, this can be extended to any scenario in our life. Like we outside we go, we have so many temptations, but what we how we deal with it, how we apply the Krishna consciousness that we learn and experience, decides our path further. Because our Krishna consciousness, actually, we are so lucky that we get the instructions not to enjoy, but actually properly enjoy the life. What can be explored, what is forbidden for us. So it gives very clear instructions with which we can follow, we can be happy, and at the same time we can attain Krishna. So it's like a manual given. So I think it's up to us to follow, to make our life easy, rather than having the chaos that we experience day to day. I think we all have to refer back, and I think our Bhagavatam class is a great example to get some instructions in the morning, so that we can have our day with a good principles set, so that we can make informed decisions. Those are some of the things that I collected. If there is any discussion or any comments, this is the time. Okay, if there is no discussion, I think we can end the class. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Prabhu, I'm ending the call. Hare Krishna.
Mathaji, can you end the call? I think you are the host. I just need to get into meeting.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So very nicely brought up how Krishna is everything in our life. We are actually looking for a false enjoyment. Some of the reflections, Mataji. So what happens? We are actually, the true devotional service is, we are looking for Krishna's enjoyment and not our enjoyment. That is the true bhakti. But of course, as you explained, we are in a conditional state which requires a lot of purification in our hearts to get to that stage. And then you also very nicely explained that, our sadhana, which is the only one which will promote us and transform to get to that consciousness. You're absolutely right that everyday reminders of Srimad Bhagavatam speaking to, actually the pure bhakti, it doesn't come from our own chanting, our own reading. The pure bhakti actually comes from the association of a pure devotees. Then only it touches our heart. I can think that I can do 192 rounds a day and I'll read my own Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, it will give you some boost, but bhakti, as per I heard many times, that only pure association of the devotee is the only one which will make us conscious on what we do, what not supposed to do. So what does that mean is, we are completely conditioned. And if I say I am reading, I am chanting, that's again egoistic. And that because of that pride, ego, I am the enjoyer. That's all because of the ego, right? That's the root cause of our existence here. So that is the main cause that we are here. And because of that false ego and pride, another way, pride, I want to enjoy. That's why there is a material exploitation every day, as you said in the news. Every other day, when I see that, of course, it's unknowingly going on everywhere. But coming to the consciousness, the Srimad Bhagavata Dharma has to be propagated by our association. And otherwise, why Prabhupada as Nitya Siddha, like Prabhupada, they stayed in one place. He traveled just because to preach us and purify us. So that's some of the reflections. Thank you so much for your nice class, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Okay. We'll end the class now. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna.